Noel, did you say?
No.
Noel and Ian. Noel and Ian and Max. See, you never know. You never know what's going to happen on the pub crawl. That was very good. Now, I did mention earlier on that we do want to finish up kind of around the 10 o'clock mark. Because, and not just for the session I'm going to, but you mentioned the cobblestones earlier. Usually the sessions will start at around 9:30, which means that's when the musicians arrive at the pub. And because it's kind of a casual thing, it takes them about 10 minutes to settle in and relax and swap stories of the day or whatever, and then they might, 9:45 they might play a tune, then they might relax, and somebody might go for a smoke or something might have it depends on the session. But around now, between now and the rest of the night, the music will start to get really going. So now is a good time for you guys to go out and find a session, particularly after a couple of hours of dust. Like I said at the very, very beginning, you either love music or you've had enough for the night. A lot of people come to Ireland and think, I'll do the music thing, tomorrow I'll do the poetry thing, and then the day after that, sure, I'll just do the drugs, whatever. You do it in an open mind. But the Cobblestones is a very good session, and it's in the Smithfield Market. If you want to go to that session, that's on every night of the week. It's a really, really good tonight, for example. What day are we today? It's Thursday. So the Palace, before I started playing the Palace, it used to be played, and I would say you should go to the Palace. The fiddle players there are fantastic. When they're not taking a break, they're really good. And that was Dermot's session. There's a few. Dermot left for a while there, so I went in. I stole his gig. So yeah, I get my €20 a week now. Well, look, we actually get paid more than that, but I drink it up. we spread the wealth, and it's a lovely little session. It always was. The Palace. I feel privileged to play there. It's fantastic. And the Palace is on Fleet Street. It's a lovely, lovely old-fashioned pub. It's on the cusp of the Temple Bar area. It's one of the only other family-run pubs in the whole town, in Temple Bar anyway. So it's back near where we started. So I would recommend that one for you guys.
It's upstairs.
Upstairs in the Palace, yeah. Also, if you're over near the Shelbourne Hotel or Stephen's Green, O'Donoghue's is always worth checking out. Now there's two O'Donoghue's pubs, and I make this point for a reason. There's an O'Donoghue's pub beside the Tourist Information Office. That's a fake O'Donoghue's. It has been painted to look like the original, which is up on Merrion Row near the Shelbourne Hotel. So it's across beside Grafton Street, up in that area. Now I'm generally throwing these out. If you have specifics and you want to go somewhere particularly, come and talk to us. We'll be here for a few minutes. Like tomorrow, for example, I would recommend Devitt's Pub on Camden Street. Saturday is different again, Sunday is different again. So because the sessions are moving on the feast. But do come and talk to us, and if you'd like to know where to go and find the sessions, we'll recommend it. Any pub you like, we'll find music for you. On the other hand, I'm going to do a little commercial break, I suppose. Don't go into a tourist shop to buy Irish music. If you're looking to buy a CD of Irish music, avoid the tourist shops. I'll recommend two shops to buy music in Ireland. One is called Claddagh Records. It's on Cecilia Street in the Temple Bar area. The other is called Claddagh Records, and it's on Abbey Street. There's two shops with the same name, the same branch. There is one other. Celtic Note is not so bad. It's on Nassau Street as well. And I recommend these shops because the people who work in them know, love, and understand music. So if you go in and you're vaguely curious about music, they will play the music for you before you buy it. It's not a nameless chain. There are actual musicians in there. So go and find one of those shops, and you'll hear really good Irish music. And if you like Irish music, you'll take one away with you. Now, if that sounds like too much trouble, you could just buy our CD. I'm obviously going somewhere with this. The Musical Pubs Crawl CD was made by 23 musicians who were doing the pub crawl at the time. It was about 10 years ago, I think. And there was 23 of us, and we made the CD due to popular demand. We didn't have one for years. The pub crawl is going nearly 20 years. And we just didn't bother. We'd tell people, oh, buy a Planty album or buy a Cheekins album, whatever. But then somebody said, you guys are brilliant, you should make your own album. And we'd never even thought of it. But when we did, they were right. We captured lightning in a bottle. And it's amazing to think some of the musicians on this that are doing the pub club. And I'll give you an example, I'm not lying. The first set of tunes are played by a fellow called Alan Doherty. You may not know his name, but his own band, Brada, had several #1 albums here in Ireland. But you've probably heard his playing if you've seen Lord of the Rings. He did the Hobbit music on the flute. That's our album. He also looks like Hobbit, but that's a coincidence. Owen Dillon is on it. He's in a band called Keela. They've toured all over the world. They're fantastic. He plays the pipes. If you've seen Martin Scorsese's film Gangs of New York, you've heard one of our pipers in Flautas. It's Emer Mayock. She's in that band. in the Afro Sound System. She was the very first person to ever do the music on Pub Crawl. She produced this album, she's on that as well. We also have Eamon DeBarra, 3 years in a row, Young Musician of the Year. He won the world, it's a world title, he got it 3 years in a row, really bastard. I'm on this. And Eamon's a genius, and he's the loveliest man in trad. He's a really nice bloke. No offence. He's a genius. And he's good looking, we hate him. But I'm on it. I have a table tennis medal from when I was 11 years old. So. We're all high achievers in the musical club. So here's the bad news. This does cost €15. And by the way, kids, you have to take this out and play it in a CD player. No downloading the music club. It is €15, unfortunately, because we share that. It's kind of a co-op with all of the musicians who take part. So we share that with the boss as well. And he likes to sell CDs from his yacht in the Cayman Islands. I do have one of my own CDs here. This is the band I'm in. We play traditional Irish music the way you would find in a session. We're similar. We were playing together for ages, and people would come up to us and say, "What's the name of your band?" And we said, "We're not a band." I said, "But you're here every week and you play the same people every week." And we said, "Yeah, but we're not actually a band. We just happen to play here." I said, "You should make a CD." He said, "Oh, then we have to think of a name for a band." And we couldn't, so I made one up. And when I showed it to the girls, they were like, "What?" Coil and Shrine, which in my poor Irish, I thought wood and wire, nice wood and wire. It's all, no, apparently it's forest and wire. Coil like a shrine, Coil.
It is forest.
Yeah. Proper Irish. So yeah, forest and wire. Sounds a bit creepy now that I've said it out loud.
But you get the wood. Forest wood, you get that.
Oh dear. Anyway, the music's good. It's a nice CD, and the good news is it's only €10. And it's in an eco-biodegradable package as well. So it will disintegrate in 10 years' time. We'll do a special deal. If you buy both of them, we do 2 for $25. And unfortunately, I apologise in advance, we don't have a refund policy. But if you don't like either of the CDs, just put them in the post and send it back to us, and we'll send you a CD we don't like. We've had 2 great songs, so let's finish on a wee set of tune. Has anybody got any questions before we go? Anything to do with music that you thought you might, apart from my lame jokes? Yeah.
So are most of the fiddlers classically trained and then they learn
No, not at all.
afterward?
Not at all, no. Most people, very few of the fiddle players I know anyway are classically trained at all. I did up to grade 4, but there's not many of us that.
I know 2, and the usual story is they do it for a while, and then once the teacher realises that they're not actually reading, they're playing by ear, they get fired, they get kicked out of lessons. Because the Irish musician will be like, do, oh yeah, I'm reading this. I think get asked to leave the lessons.
It's like the reason I play the fiddle is because there was a guy in my class called Liam O'Connor. He's probably going to be the greatest fiddle player of all time. He's an absolute genius. He comes from a really big musical family out in Balbell on the north side of Dublin, and he was going to college there. He went back to college to do a postgrad in UCD in folklore, and he's really well known. And the head of the orchestra in UCD asked him would he play first violins, and he goes, "Look, I'm really sorry about this, but you have to do the audition." And the audition is you go in, you sit down in front of 5 heads of the musical academy in UCD, and they pick a piece. They say Chopin's Fifth or Bach or Beethoven or Tchaikovsky or whatever, and you play it. You don't know what it is in advance. You have to sight read it and play it. So they said the name of the piece, whatever it was, Beethoven or Tchaikovsky, and they said, there's a music stand, open it up and see what it is. So Liam took a look at the name. It's an 8-minute long piece or something. Liam took a look at the name, read it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, Grant." He stood off and played it straight from memory. He knew the thing. They were like, "What's going on here?" They couldn't believe that he knew it, note for note. Like, it's such an amazing piece of music, but he knew it all in his head.
Similar thing happened to Alan Doherty. When Alan was playing in a pub in Australia, and Peter Jackson happened to be in the pub, and he said, that's what we want for the soundtrack. So they actually said, "Would you come to New Zealand and play?" So So they flew him first class over to New Zealand to play, and they got the New Zealand Philharmonic in, and he's lined up there to do his bits and said, here's the arranger, whoever did the music, some really famous musician. They said, here's your piece, this is what we want you to play. And he says, I don't read fucking music.
Oh my god.
Sorry for swearing, but he is from
He's a real dub, yeah.
He's a real dub. And that's what he said, and they were like,
You
everyone
can really imagine that as well.
Yeah. And so what they did was like, what are we gonna do? And he says, oh, play it for me and I'll get it. So the piano player played it and says, oh yeah. Like that. So after, when he left, all the musicians were going tap 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 on their rostrums when he left. And he had no clue about books or movies. He's into music, and he came home. He was on the phone to his father, going, "Oh, you never guess that. I'm in New Zealand. I'm on some movie soundtrack." He says, "What is it? I think it's called Lord of the Flies or something." That actually happened. That's well, I'm going to be outrageously late for this gig. We do it, Shane, and get out.
Yeah.
Good question.